Hi guys, and welcome into Define Your Journey, where you will learn about what is DeFi in an easy way, because DeFi is cool and that's a great opportunity. But on the other side, it looks quite scary because it could be complex. And I want to say thanks to Elias from GrizzlyFi. If you want to present yourself to our audience.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much for that whole thing, because I'm super thankful to be able to be part of such a cool idea, it's such a cool journey. And I mean, yeah, my name is Elias. I'm in crypto since almost 6-7 years now, and I mean, I experienced exactly the same as a lot of people experience. It's super hard, it's difficult. And I remember when I started in crypto, there were not a lot of influencers or YouTubers like you, which presented DeFi and crypto at such a easy term. And we thought, if we can support the adoption of DeFi in a way, we will do it. And with a partner like you, we thought, let's go.
Thank you. I still remember when I started to follow DeFi space. I think that the word DeFi was not even out. It was around 2017, 2018. And the first approach was with a protocol. It was about just exchanging tokens. And I was wondering, why should I use this kind of stuff? Why it's important? And from that moment on, really, my journey into the DeFi space has changed so much. And the reason why I came out with and I proposed to you, let's do something to help people to understand, to embrace what is DeFi. Because I really remember how difficult it was for me at the beginning, really understanding the reason why. Because that's a big difference between using like Binance or using a DeFi protocol. But also on the other side, DeFi can be a big revolution when it comes to the whole financial system, because maybe right now the main reason why you are following DeFi is just to earn and having some speculation activity. But on the other side, I can assure you, and with this journey, that's what we want to do together, is really helping you to understand what is the real nature of DeFi. It's not just about speculation. Speculation is fine. And obviously having the opportunity to earn, be rewarded, that's cool. That's also the reason why we decided to make available this great prize that is a 10K that will be divided by 100 people in order to give you an incentive. But that's not the real reason why you should join DeFi. And if I ask to you, Elias, what is the main reason for you why DeFi should be something that people should start embrace, and why they should follow this path that we will do together?
I mean, when we talk about crypto and DeFi, especially, people, as you said, join because they want to make money. And there's no bad thing about I want to make money in this sector, because I also started, and I'm sure you kind of also started because you wanted to make money in that sector.
Obviously, at the end of the story, that's the first reason that you come in your mind.
It would be a lie if we said no, we're only for the tech and whatever. A lot of people say that, but let's be honest, everyone is in to make a living, because everyone has the same dream. We want to be free. We want to live the life on our own terms. And I mean, that's also the reason why we said we want to help with this course. We want to participate as a partner with you together to create such a cool experience in learning something about that topic. Because what we see and what we think is, we as a protocol owner, so yeah, we own the protocol GrizzlyFi, and GrizzlyFi is all about making the investment experience as easy and as transparent as possible. And what we saw is that a lot of people still are struggling with getting scammed, with struggling of how to get started. And that's exactly why we said, okay, let's support such an educational product and help people to get onboarded correctly. And when you ask me, why should people learn about something like that, is because it seems to be the next logical step for our financial system. Decentralized is where people want to go. We're more and more living into a world where people want to be the master of their own things, be the master of their own data. We're more and more developing to a state of mind where people say, hey, I don't want to be part of this big thing. I want to do my own stuff. I want to be abundant. And with decentralized finance, with blockchain, we're going more and more in such a direction. And I mean, for me and for us as a company, obviously, we're believing in that. And that's why we said, let's do that course, let's do that and help people getting started in that sector.
Yeah, you say the right, because also the main point is that all the people want to be having, well, they want to have a financial freedom from one side, earning. But the point is that the reality is that it's not so easy, because on the other side, you should be aware also what are the risks, because also there are so many people that are just talking and selling you the dream of becoming rich. And that's something that is cool. But the reality is that, yes, it is possible, because DeFi and the whole crypto space can give you the opportunity to earn more. But on the other side, we should be aware on how this space is working, what are the risks and the opportunity, because at the end of the story, it's always a matter of being aware. If you are aware, well, you can do whatever you want, because it is full of opportunities. And that's what we will do into the whole journey. We will start from the scratch, so explaining to you what is CeFi, DeFi, and so on. I know all these tags, all these words are probably sounding to you right now complex, but I can assure to you that the whole philosophy of this journey is making easy what looks like complex in order to make the difference for you in your life and in your financial freedom.
And there are no stupid questions. If you have any questions to us, just ask really, because when we started, I was also, what is DeFi? What means DeFi? What means crypto? Why is it called crypto? Let's ask these questions. These are important questions. And I mean, from my side, with that, we can get started. Just ask your questions, and yeah, let's go. Let's learn something.
Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we will start for real our journey into the DeFi and crypto space, and I want to start with literally the fundamental. What is a cryptocurrency? Because all of us are talking about cryptos, but the point is, what is really a crypto and why it has a value? I prepared for you also a couple of slides that I'm sharing with you right now, and I want to start with Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto could be defined as the father of the whole cryptocurrency world. He created Bitcoin. Satoshi Nakamoto is just a nickname because we don't really know his own real name. He just published a white paper on a forum, and he created this community that started this whole game. There are different kinds of speculation about who is for real Satoshi Nakamoto, but at the end of the story, really matters? I don't know, it's not so important. What is important to understand is that behind the idea of Satoshi Nakamoto was for real creating a currency, something like the dollar, for example, that instead to have to rely on governments or on someone, an entity, a centralized entity that is saying, okay guys, this is something that has a value because we have said that it has a value and you have to accept it and you have to use it following our rules. His idea was, okay guys, we can create a currency that instead of relying on anything like that, can rely on its own network that is managed, that is also organized by an algorithm. So the point was connecting different people through internet, and the transaction that these people, so that were connected through internet, were doing, were make them reliable thanks to an encrypted algorithm that was using the first blockchain database. In the next video, in the next lesson, we will talk about what is a blockchain database. At the moment, we don't care about that. What we care is that the first idea behind cryptocurrencies was for real to create a currency. If we look after that, we have to understand that the whole picture changed a lot. The reality is that right now, most of the cryptocurrencies are not currencies, not even Bitcoin, even if it's true that it is used in El Salvador. You have to know that in El Salvador, crypto is a legal tender. So aside from the US dollar, that is the other legal tender, they have Bitcoin. It is like something like that if the United States government is saying that, guys, instead of having just USD, we have as recognized by us currency also Bitcoin. Obviously, it's something that we are not even close in the United States to have anything like that. But in El Salvador and in other places, yes, this is something that is happening. If you're wondering why they're doing that, it is mainly because they don't want to be dependent on the monetary policy of states like US. The reason is because all of these countries, they don't really rely on their own currencies, for the simple reason that it is too volatile in terms of inflation, but they were usually relying on the US dollar. So they have decided to adopt Bitcoin just to solve this problem. Generally speaking, when we are talking about Bitcoin, we are not really talking about a currency. Yes, as we have said, there is a case where it is used as a currency, but the reality is that when we are talking about it, it is much more talking about like a digital gold. So something that it doesn't have inflation, that is retaining its own value. Well, right now it's still really volatile, but the whole idea is that the digital gold, it is something that is more efficient because you can split it in as many parts as you want without any effort. It is available to be liquidated 24 hours per day. So it is much more convenient and has less commission than gold and so on. So that's the reason why they are defining most of the time Bitcoin as the digital gold. Talking more, trying to broadening the point of view, the reality is that cryptocurrencies are having different kind of use cases that are going much farther than the single currency or like being just a reserve of value. Don't be misled by the name cryptocurrency, because this name could be misleading, but saying cryptocurrencies is just a way to define the whole category of cryptos that are having a value and you can exchange them for real currency. But the reason why cryptos are existing is not to be a currency. The first reason why they are used is to pay fees. We have been talking about blockchains, that is just like a layer, a technology layer that is a database that we'll talk much more in depth into the next video. And it is what is enabling the whole blockchain and crypto world to go on. The point is that to make these blockchains work, what you need is something that is enable you to pay fees on that specific blockchain. That's the first use case, specifically when we are talking about, for example, Ethereum, that is the second biggest crypto into the whole space. We are talking about a crypto that has as a main goal to pay the fees into the Ethereum blockchain. The second one is more interesting, to be fair, because it's giving us an idea that is much more connected to what we are used into the real world, and I'm talking about profit sharing. Right now, into the real world, when we are talking about profit sharing, most of the time we are talking about you can buy a stock and that stock will give you the right to receive some dividend. The same kind of concept applies to the crypto space, but instead of having to buy a stock, you can simply buy a crypto that is representing a portion of a specific, let's say, application, company, or whatever it is. And this crypto is distributing to you a part of the profits, revenues that are generated by that application or company. The third kind of utility is about really being a utility token. So it is like when you are using an application where you're having like your fidelity card into a specific company or whatever it is, and you are receiving perks, benefits, the possibility to have these specific discounts and so on. So a utility token, it is something that it is having value, it is giving you advantage into that specific ecosystem or application. Finally, it is about governance. Governance means that you have the right to vote. Let's say that you believe that a specific application, a specific decentralized company could really make some kind of impact into the world. And most of the time they can. Why? Because they are managing a lot of money. And when there are a lot of money, most of the time there are also important decisions to be made. And if you are holding a specific crypto for that specific project, well, you can have also the governance power. So as you can see, these are the four main utility right now, aside of being a reserve of value and a currency. And if you want to understand what is the real value behind a specific crypto token, what you need to dig into is understanding, okay, the crypto that I have in front, what is about? It's about being a payment fee, it's about profit sharing, utility, governance, or it is for real a currency. I will see you in the next video about what is a blockchain. Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we'll talk about what is a blockchain. The blockchain is literally the technology that is behind, it is the base of any cryptocurrency. Without a blockchain, we can't have a crypto, and we can't even have the DeFi, decentralized finance. It's something that we'll talk much more broader into the next couple of videos. I prepared also today a couple of slides for you, and I want to start with this image. Probably you have already recognized that we are talking about Excel. The reason why I'm using Excel as a metaphor is because in the moment when you are thinking about the blockchain, you can really think to it as a big Excel sheet. It is, for the simple reason, it is just a database. So it is simply like a ledger where you can enter different values and information. And the whole point about a blockchain is that instead of giving you the ability to edit it whenever you want, it is using an algorithm to encrypt, to really secure the information. When it comes to blockchain, there are two different layers of security. The first one is, as we have just said, is encryption. So all the information are encrypted. The second one is that the information are approved through blocks. So in the moment when you are entering different kind of information into your Excel sheet, for example, in that moment, the system will encrypt them, and after that, another system will validate them. How? Through a specific algorithm and through specific systems that are requiring to put some capital, to put some effort on it, and there is the whole process where different players are participating. Because the whole point is that instead of having just a single entity, centralized, could be the bank, the government, or a company, or whoever they are, that is saying, guys, it's good, what the information that we have are all corrected. In this case, when it comes to blockchain, we have a decentralized process. So it means that anyone can participate to the validation process and can say, guys, pay attention because that transaction, it is wrong. So through this system, through the participation of different players that are saying, guys, it is right, we are having the validation of the information. There are different kind of blockchains. Someone is using a system that maybe you have heard about. It is called proof of work. In other cases, we are talking about proof of stake. In the moment when we are talking about proof of work, it simply means that in order to be approved, a specific transaction should go through a process that is requiring a lot of computational power to be approved. And this computational power has a cost, obviously. It is consuming energy. That's the reason why many people are saying that Bitcoin is not environmental friendly, because it's consuming energy. Even if consuming energy, it doesn't mean having an impact on the environment, because it really depends which kind of energy you're using. And when it comes to Bitcoin, most of the energy that is used is renewable energy. But aside from that, the reason why we need something that has some kind of value is to secure the system. It is like using an authorized contract. This is something that has a higher level of security than just going and buying something and having just a simple receipt. An authorized act is something that has much more security. And the same happens when it comes to the proof of work. The need of consuming energy is giving to the system much more security. On the other side, we have proof of stake that instead of using energy, it's requiring people to deposit as a guarantee a certain kind of amount of the crypto. Let's say that we are talking about Ethereum. In order to participate to the process of validation, where you have to approve through solving algorithms and so on, you need to deposit as a guarantee that you will do the right thing a certain amount of cryptos. Going on, what are the peculiarities when it comes to a blockchain? Well, first of all, it is immutable. It means that in the moment when an information has gone into the blockchain, this is something that you can't change, because that's how it works. Nobody can simply say, okay, maybe we can change that transaction. It is not possible. Once it is done, it is done. After that, it is transparent. It means that the ledger, the whole database, it is like a file Excel that you can access in any moment. You can analyze. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you are a government or if you are a simple person, private person. You can access the information and check them out. It is decentralized, so it means that to the process of validation, everyone can participate. All they need to have is simply, from one side, if you are talking about a proof of stake system, they need to deposit a certain amount of crypto or buy a certain kind of hardware in order to participate to, obviously, the validation process. Because still remember that in order to validate a transaction, you need to solve some kind of algorithm. So that's something that is requiring to you something like a computer. Finally, it is accessible from any place in any time. This is not something that you have to wait the opening time of a specific office. That's something that you can access whenever you want. All you need, it is just an internet connection. This is just to give you a brief summary of what is a blockchain. If you have any question, any doubt, don't hesitate, just write us or in the comment section here or just through the Telegram channel. Guys, see you soon in the next video. Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we are gonna finally talk about DeFi. What is this decentralized finance that sounds so complex? And that was also my feeling at the beginning. I was thinking, guys, finance looks already so complex. Why we need to add another word like decentralized that looks even more complex? The reality is that, as I will show you in a moment, is that the DeFi is nothing special. At the end of the story, we are talking about finance that is simply using a new technology layer. I prepared for you a couple of slides, and more specifically, what I was saying is that DeFi, that even if it looks so complex, so high-tech, the reality is that it is simply using the technology layer that we were talking about just into the previous video. If you missed one, guys, go through that because it's so important. And if you have any doubt, just write to us, because it is important to understand really the technology layer, the base that is enabling everything else to work. And the blockchain, it is so powerful because, as we were saying, it is a ledger, so a database that is transparent, immutable, the decentralized, so it means that different people are participating to the validation process, to the approval process of any transaction. They are verifying also that all the transactions are correct and real. And finally, it is always accessible. So it is like having a finance system that a bank, imagine, that instead of being open just like on Monday from 8 to 12, because after that they are closed and you can't access anymore if you want to do wire transfer, or if you need to talk with a consultant, oh sorry, maybe you can call tomorrow, or sorry, tomorrow your consultant is on vacation. Oh, come on guys, I need to work, I need to understand, I need to do something about with my money right now. Unfortunately, that's something that through the traditional finance market, it is not possible most of the time. Through a DeFi, thanks to this technology layer that is called a blockchain, we can do the same stuff that we were doing into the traditional finance world, simply in a more efficient way. But let's do a couple of examples. Well, first of all, you can take a loan. So let's say that you are having you have some Bitcoin and you want to take a loan against your Bitcoin. All you have to do is simply connect your wallet, go into a specific application, deposit your Bitcoin, and you can take a loan. And all of this process is taking you minutes or maybe even seconds. It's not like going to the bank, and the approval process for a loan can take days, weeks, or even months. It is something that is taking seconds, so much more efficient. On the other side, we can talk about trading. Trading simply means exchanging something. In this moment, when you want to trade, most of the time you have your consultant, your broker at the bank maybe, or you're using an application like Robinhood if you want to trade stocks and so on. When it comes to DeFi, you can do the same stuff. You can trade cryptocurrencies at the moment, but the beauty is that the blockchain is agnostic from the point of view of which asset it has inside the blockchain. So the blockchain can manage any kind of asset. So it means that you can even trade stocks and so on. That's something that is possible through synthetic assets. Right now, I don't want to make it too complex because it's not even important. What is important to understand is that through the blockchain, you can trade anything. Could be a stock, could be a cryptocurrency, could be a commodity. There is a way to do that through a blockchain. You can also earn passive income, and that's something that is quite peculiar, something that you can do, at least in this way, only through the DeFi, a DeFi protocol, a DeFi application. And the peculiarity is that while when we are talking about a centralized finance, so the normal finance, we are talking about a world where you need like a broker, some man, the middleman that will complete for you the transaction, and it will take a cut. When we are talking about DeFi, there is no middleman, and you can take that cut that usually is going to the middleman, you can make it your own. And in this course, into the next chapters, we will see how you can do this stuff. Or more simply, earning passive income simply means that you can take your cryptos, you can deposit it in a specific application, and you can make them work for you. And that's pretty interesting. So don't miss the next chapters, because this feature is something that is a breakthrough, and the more we will go on into the next couple of years, the more this will become crucial, because I want to anticipate something even if I wasn't supposed to, but the power of DeFi is called composability. So it means that you can create complex strategies. You can, for example, take a loan and using the money that you have received to trade for something else. What you have received, you can use it to earn passive income. And maybe at the end of the story, you can even add some kind of advanced financial service. When I'm talking about financial services that are advanced, I'm talking about, for example, options, derivatives, or anything that it is part of the financial system. Because at the end of the story, when we are talking about blockchain, there is not something that it is possible and something that is not. The reality is that you can do everything, but simply adding a new technology layer that is making everything accessible from any part of the world. We have to remind that right now there are still many people, let's say in Africa or in other poor countries, that are not having access to all the financial services. And through this technology, we can make them possible to use them. Guys, that's all for this lesson. Again, don't forget to ask any doubt that you have. You can use the comment section below here, or you can come to the Telegram channel. Guys, see you soon into the next video.